tradition with a twist. That's the mark of a maker.
Now, welcome back. And do not be alarmed, viewers. They haven't left us alone with all this wine. Oh, no.
Free gaff!
Can you imagine?
No, our favourite wine guru, David Wheelahan from Wheelahan's Wines, joins us live from his base in Loughlinstown to taste some lovely summer tipples. A very good morning to you, David.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good.
I say the sun is shining out here, and I think it's amplifying our senses, so we feel that people are getting even more seduced by the wonderful flavours that you find in great wines.
So you're going to give us the education, the wine education that you usually give us in studio by Skype today, David. And we're going to start with the trusted Chardonnay.
Absolutely. So, of course, the Chardonnay grape, I mean, if you talk to or if you Google around, you read that it's the second most planted white grape variety in the world. But in reality, it's the #1 grape variety, unquestionably. And, of course, its origins are Burgundy, which is obviously in the middle of France. And always it produces a wonderful mouth-filling style of white wine. Now, there's a huge range of expressions depending on how much oak is actually integrated into the wine or not. But if you want to pour a little bit into your glass, I'm not sure if you have it poured there. So
I've already drunk it, David.
We've poured.
I'm way ahead of you, boy.
Well done, well done. So we agitate the wine in the glass, and of course, when you do that, you get this kind of lovely apple type aromas. And say this is a wonderful domain from the Mâconnais, which is say southern Burgundy, and it's a wonderful family, Hervé and Nathalie Carrette. Here, it's all about working as close with nature as they possibly can. So, as I think we're all going through that kind of phase of nature at the moment, and they won a big award for their environmental awareness in 2019. So, on the palate, you have it's quite broad and it's quite mouth-filling, but you have this kind of lovely liveliness as well, which is the acidity in the wine, or what we'll have to call the freshness. And as I say, when all this craziness is over, always our tip to the viewers out there is, the most important thing to do when you're talking to a winemaker is talk to them about the freshness in the wine, which is the natural acidity. And that will always bring a smile to their face and always will ensure that you'll get extra hospitality in the background.
That's really nice, David. That one, nice and light.
There's
you like
kind
that?
of a creaminess to it, is there?
Gorgeous, very nice. Let's move on to wine #2, and we're off to south of Italy. Is that right?
Sure, yes. So we're going down into the deep heel of Italy, into the area of Puglia. And this is an area where a lot of Irish people are choosing to get married for obvious reasons. It's just so wonderful. It's so romantic, wonderful coastlines. But there they've got these wonderful old grape varieties. The Fiano grape goes back to Roman times. So it's been there for a very, very long time. And why we're championing it today is slightly unusual. It's very historic. It's very charming. It's very robust. So if you're having barbecue, any style of barbecue, whether it's chicken or salmon or even burgers, there's enough aroma flavors in it to combat those kind of sort of charred flavors. So if you want to try it on your palate, you have to get these lovely kind of honeydew melon and apricot and those kind of really ripe fruits. And yet there's a lovely backbone of acidity. And what's also very interesting about this wine is the alcohol is only 13%. So it feels much richer on the palate. And you'd imagine coming from Puglia, where it's so warm, it would be higher in alcohol because of the sugar in the grape varieties. But not at all. It's broad, it's rich, it's generous, it's sumptuous. What do you guys think of it?
I think it's very light. It's gorgeous, very drinkable.
It's very light. I would much prefer the first one, David, the kind of creaminess of the first one versus that one.
Well, you're terrible frosty, did you know that?
You're a real blue blood animal. So that's the first one is really a classic wine, and that texture that you talked about is from the Lees contact. And you're right to always champion in Burgundy. Then dashing on, we have what is an alcohol-free wine, and most alcohol-free wines you see in the market, they tend to be really quite drab, and we would typically recommend people to have a fruit juice or a tonic water or a sparkling water. But this one from Lights is actually super. The estate goes back to 1744. It's a 40-hectare estate, so it's quite a big estate. And they're using vacuum distillation to really preserve the aromatic flavours of the Riesling grape. And what you find is a wine that is de-alcoholized, but actually tastes really like a wine. So I'm not sure what you make of it. It's got lovely acidity, lots of lime, citrus-type flavours. And for me, so far, it's the best de-alcoholized wine I've come across.
What do you think of that?
It's really nice, really easy to drink, really fruity, and I think more importantly, it's really nice to have an alcohol-free wine for visitors. Not that we have a whole lot of visitors at the moment, but just as an option, David, it's very important to have one there, isn't it?
I think so, and I think particularly as sort of all the norms have changed and we're maybe sipping a little bit more. So I think to have something like this in the fridge could be a really good idea. You know, it's really quite close to a regular wine, but I mean, I say I'm salivating here because of the natural acidity in this wine. And I agree with you, Anna. It's certainly a good thing to have as a backup, and we would certainly recommend it. And it'll be widely available all over the country through many retailers, and you'll see it on many websites as well.
So let's move on to the last one, David, and you've got a red to finish.
Sure. So this is one of my big tips for the day, and this is a Primitivo De Mandorio. So the Primitivo grape is a wonderful, rich, robust, plummy style of grape, and it's one that I think really 98% of the Irish population will enjoy. And you'll find a version of this no matter where you are in the country. It tends to make a more richer, fuller style of wine. This is 14.5%, and it's coming from the Primitivo De Mandorio, which was set up in 1928. The Gambero Rosso, which is the top reviewing book in Italy, gives it the Tre Bicchieris, which is the highest rating. So it's rich, it's polished, and it's one of these wines that just lures you in. So you want to have a sip, and then you want to have another sip, and another sip, and another sip. So this to me is if you really want to spoil and indulge yourself, and you're sitting outside and you're listening to the bird song, and the barbecue is crackling away there happily.
You're painting a gorgeous picture, David.
Yeah, and really, it does bring a smile to your face. So I'm not sure what you guys make of it. What do you think?
I think there's a real warmth off it, isn't there? The aromas, just the feel.
It would go really, really well with barbecued meat. Oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah.
David, they're gorgeous. Thank you very much. That was slightly bizarre, but very enjoyable nonetheless.
Great. Okay. Well, look after yourselves, guys. Thanks very much.
You too. Stay safe, David. Thanks
Take care,
a million.
David. Thank you. Cheers.
Right, up next, Pieta House is trying to keep hope alive during these darkest days. We'll be chatting to rugby player Hannah Tyrrell on how you can help from your home. See you in 3 minutes.
Tradition with a twist. That's the mark of a maker.